Welcome. My name is Kevin Kellar, and this is Veterans on the Homefront. Today we will be discussing the Marine Corps League Veterans Organization. They are the ones that sponsor this program, the Department of Ohio Marine Central Division of the Marine Corps League. We're going to go over a little bit about the Marine Corps League, its history in itself, and some of the things that the Marine Corps League has to offer. We'll start with a little bit of the history of how we got started. Marine Corps League is an outgrowth of the Marine Corps clubs associated for Marines returning to the U.S. from the trenches in France in 1918. As these clubs grew in size and number, they became more active in pursuit of objectives of the interest to their members and support of the Corps. In November of 1923, that is, Major General John A. Lejeune, then the Commandant of the Marine Corps, convened the first conference of Marines in support of the Corps. It was apparent that there was a need for a formal organization. Plans were drawn and a petition was sent to Congress to grant a congressional charter to the League. A charter was granted on 3 August 1937 by Public Law 243, passed by the 74th Congress of the USA. And at this time of the printing of this, there was boosted a membership of over 72,000 men, women, officers, and enlisted from active duty, reserve Marines, honorably discharged Marines, and qualified FMF corpsmen. We have 49 departments in the League at this point, and a department in the League is in itself the state. Instead of calling it the state, we call it department. More than 1,100 detachments chartered. And I believe from the other day, we have about 1,499. We're looking for 1,500. We have a support group, of course, of our auxiliary with a membership of approximately 4,000. And we have, of course, accredited service officers, so on and so on, as it goes on. We do have a National Marine Corps League scholarship. Most, if not all of the stuff I'm talking about tonight, excuse me, is on the National Marine Corps League website in the library or the members library. If you try to get into the members library, of course, you need a passcode. You can get that from your detachment commandants or some at the districts or the department levels. But you can go there and get all this information that I'm talking about tonight. We have, at the time, over 300 members at a minimum right now in support of the VA Volunteer Service Program. It is now the CDCE, just volunteering, going to the VA. We've talked about that before. Get with your local VA, your CBOT, local VA medical facility, and see if they need some help. If you got some time, even if it's a couple hours or a couple days, it's all very much needed. We also have a group that we are affiliated with, the Young Marines, is open to use 8 to 18 years of age, male and female. The Young Marines are given training in physical fitness, life-saving, swimming, camping, and taught self-reliance along the lines of the Marine Corps training by volunteer leaguers and associate leaders. In addition, we do have the League has a Boy Scout program supporting them. We do have awards that we can give those, go over there and help them out, volunteer in that program as well. And of course, we have our magazine, the Marine Corps League, it's called Semper Fi. All kinds of information from all over the League, from all detachments and departments, divisions. So you get that as a part of your membership. Our purposes in the League is to preserve the traditions, promote the interest and perpetuate the history of the United States Marine Corps, and by fitting acts to observe the anniversary of historical occasions of particular interest to the Marines. Of course, this year we're celebrating our working on 250 years in the Corps of existence. So everybody's having birthdays all over the place, all over the world. So if you can't hold a birthday, get together with some of your Marines, some of the Marines local, and on the 10th, and spend some time honoring the Corps, honoring the Marines, and honoring our history and traditions. So we get together, we band together with our fellow Marines, and that fellowship that we bonded during our service to promote not only our American ideals and our democracy, to protect that all, plus, of course, hang out with our fellow Marines. Talk somebody I know once told me it's a time you can get together and talk Marine and everybody will understand what you're talking about. It helps us remember our histories, again, our traditions, what we've done, something we should never forget, should share. It helps not only us, but our fellow Marines, all of our veterans, all branches, get together and talk about these things, where we've been, what we've done, and it helps us, those that have had a hard time or are going through a hard time, helping to reach out to each other, support each other. So a little bit about some of the programs we have. Now, if you want to be a member, get a hold of your local Marine Corps detachment. You can look it up on the National Marine Corps League website under Find a Detachment. Go in there and put in your address and your radius, and it'll tell you the detachments in your area or near you. Just get a copy of your DD 214. And fill it out and get the dues to that local detachment. They can get you sworn in and taken care of. And then you can get hold of some of these, get involved in some of these programs, some of these activities. Even if we have your detachment's not, you have an idea for an activity, get it with them, talk to them, and find out what you can do about getting that started. Help local Marines, help your families, any and all veterans. So, but we have one of the programs we have, little thing that a lot of Marines like to do is shoot, put holes in paper. We have the National Marksmanship Postal Match Program. It's usually held from 1 March to 30 October annually. There are awards. Service rifle, any service rifle or civilian equivalent, such as the M1903 civilian or Springfield M1 Grand, M14, M1A, M16, M4A, AR style, particular sights and stuff in stock and all of that. Service pistol, M1911, 45 Beretta, M9, Sig Sauer, M17s, open rifle and or pistol, any caliber 22 or higher, but below 50 cal, optics up to 4-time magnification can be used. There is a whole thing on that. Turn in your scores and everything, and be different level awards. They have team, both rifle and pistol. Will consist of 4 or 5 competitors. Now those should be in your detachment, not just anybody, so they need to be part of your detachment. In good standing, in other words, you have to have your dues paid. And if you have only 4 competitors, you will receive a blind score in lieu of the 5th competitor. Injuries of 3 or less are eligible for individual awards, but not for teams. A competitor cannot be a member of more than one team. So there's just some of it. The range length for the rifle match will be fired at 200 yards with the NRA SR 200 yard 10 by, or the U.S. Army 5 Victor target, so on and so forth. So there's a whole lot of things involving this more and more. I'm not going to go into all of it, of course. For the pistol, though, 10 round slow fire for 10 minutes, 2 5-round strings, team fired 20 seconds per string, 2 5-round strings, rapid fire, 10 seconds per string. So this gives you an idea of what's going on with our pistol, our shooting program. You got scoring classifications, go from marksman, sharpshooter, expert, master, and high master. So sounded something interesting, get a hold of somebody, please. Benefits of joining can all be different to all of us, of course. But the more Marines we have in the league, the more of a voice we can project out to Congress to help our Marines, our families, all of our veterans total. So the more, the better, and a bigger say we could have for our veterans and our services. We already talked about having a magazine. We do. It's outstanding. So, of course, you have association with Marines of all eras and various units. You never know who you're going to run into or where you've been. You're going to eventually run into somebody that's been there, was there with you. You just maybe didn't know who he was or who they were. And then you go to our conferences, whether at the detachments or department or national level, central division or national levels. You get to meet Marines from all over that have served all over the United States, all over the world. It's a good time. Opportunity to, these detachments, especially at the detachment level, you got a big opportunity to serve to help those in your local community, all veterans. And what's better than a veteran helping a veteran? Nothing in my eyes, but we need to be out there seeing and helping each other, looking out after each other, talking to each other especially. The opportunities for that alone is outstanding. I mean, helping one another like we were trained to do anyway. Now we do also have a Marine Corps League scholarship. Every year comes out. It's mainly the basic thing is somebody's got to be in the Marine Corps League. Then you have to have the individual going up for this scholarship is a GPA of 3.3 on a 4 scale. You have to have somebody in the league, of course. High schools, anybody that's in this, it's to provide a Marine Corps League scholarship to qualified applicants who are pursuing an undergraduate degree and will be enrolled as a student full-time, 12 semester hours minimum in the upcoming academic year, and will be attending an accredited undergraduate institution. The scholarship will only be awarded for a maximum of 4 years and must be reapplied for each year. I want to say that again. It must be reapplied for each year. It does not have to be consecutive. So if you take a couple years, you take a break, and then you can reapply. But 4 years max total. So eligible recipients: paid members of the Marine Corps League or Marine Corps League Auxiliary in good standing. In other words, your dues have to be paid in current. So every year, no later than August, you need to have your dues paid, turned into your detachment. Always got to get your dues paid in no later than August. Preferably in July if you get a chance, so that gives the paymasters time enough to get all the paperwork filled out and get it up through the chain. Also, the eligible recipients, spouses, children, stepchildren, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and paid members of the Marine Corps League or paid members of the Marine Corps Auxiliary in good standing. Children of U.S. Marines, FMF corpsmen, and chaplains serving with Marine units who were killed in action. The above state students must have a cumulative unweighted GPA, again, of 3.0 on a 4-point scale. Those who aren't eligible, students who already have their first undergraduate degree or are pursuing a second bachelor's degree and are attending a graduate school of any kind or are attending a federal service academies are not eligible. As far as universities, if you have student plans to attend in the outcoming year, the accredited undergraduate institution must be listed in the College Navigator to qualify for this program. Again, for it to be a qualified college institution or university, it has to be listed in the College Navigator to qualify for the scholarship. Again, got to be part of the league for this. Members at large. If you are both member at large and member sponsorship, can be both sections. All sponsorships must be paid in date to the Marine Corps League Auxiliary. Detachment Auxiliary, a lot of different information. I don't want to try to read everything. What we got here. All decisions by the Scholarship Committee are final and will not be subject to review. The Scholarship Committee will strictly observe all eligible criteria and requirements to ensure compliance throughout. Incomplete applications will not be considered by the committee, nor will they be returned for corrections. I'll say that one again. Incomplete applications will not be considered by the committee, nor will they be returned for corrections. Preliminary approved applications will not receive notification. They will be posted on the Marine Corps League National website by August 31st, 2025. So you submit your application, you get it through. Usually it comes out on the website, our National Marine Corps League website, in early April. They need to be submitted usually early July to get it in. The committee will meet, do their thing, and then post them online and in the member libraries area. So you'll have to go online and look at that. If you have any change in mailing or email address, make sure you notify the committee promptly. Photocopies of official transcripts are acceptable. Applications and transcripts must be emailed. Documents are not to be mailed. Transcripts must be sent directly to you. Requests must be sent directly to you to avoid confusion or being lost. Documents downloaded from a school websites will be accepted if authenticated by that institution's registrar's office. So best is just to go to the registrar's office and get your paperwork. That way there'll be no questions about it. Because after you submit it, it's going to be too late. And then it's got places where you can go online. It's a simple application. It's just one page, basic stuff. Applicant's information, who's in the league, all their information, and all of that. So, and then whatever attachment paperwork you may need. So, we also have what's called the Delta Dental Program, a scholarship program. This one I just found out just recently, looking over the website. And it's to grant scholarships to qualified applicants who are pursuing a full-time degree program or certified license of technical training at a full-time recognized institution. Only the following relationships will be considered: active duty, reserve duty, honorably discharged veterans of the United States military who served during the War on Terror, September 1st, 2001 to present time. In addition, the veteran's spouse, children, stepchild, and sibling is also qualified. Now, for a new applicant, of course, you've never done it, but you still have to meet the eligibility and criteria. Renewal applicants as a prior recipient of the Marine Corps League Delta Dental Scholarship must comply, of course, with all the requirements. Again, all of this stuff is on the Marine Corps League website. So those Marines out there that are in the league see it quite a bit, unfortunately, but take time to go on and read the bylaws, administrative procedures. Go online and look at all of the things that are on the National Marine Corps League website. Is a wealth of information, everything you wanted to know and more. It is just outstanding area to find out about the league and what's going on, especially if you're in the detachment or somewhere and you got questions. You can find the answers right there. I mean, they're usually right there in the books. The scholarship is an amount of $2,000 toward the program, and that will be provided to your educational institution. You will not get it. In other words, they will mail the check if you're approved to that medical institution, so it will be directed to your account. Again, you must be a veteran who served during the War on Terror from September 1st, 2001 to present. You must be entering into your certification, undergraduate or graduate program for a doctor of dentistry, dental surgery, dental hygienist instructor, and dental office administrator. You will have to provide a word essay of 500 max, a description of your program of study, your need, and your relationship to the veteran that's going to be there, so that you're related to. So this is just a little bit about the Marine Corps League today on this program. We will be throwing more out there here and there. Again, though, if you're a veteran and you haven't gone to the VA and got an ID card, you need to do that. A lot of veterans out there think that if you do that, you're taking something away from another vet. Actually, it's just the opposite. If you're not on the list, you don't have a card, you're not registered, then the VA is not getting money. They get so much per veteran. So the more veterans that register, the more money they can get to help our veterans. Like the one here in Dayton, Ohio. They got a lot more than just a medical facility. They've got for homeless, counseling, you name it, they've got it going on. They've card shows, honoring all the organizational birthdays, all kinds of different things going on for the veterans in our community and to help the veterans in our community. So with that, again, I want to thank the Department of Ohio Marine Corps League for sponsoring our program. More programs to come. And again, I'm Kevin Kellar, and thank you.